everyone,
Hi.
and welcome to another Gladsley review. We hope you're all doing really well. So, Netflix at the minute, number one, as of we're putting out this video, is the new Addams Family that came out in 2019. So, we've watched this and now we're going to review it for you.
Yeah, so we'll do a quick rundown of the plot. This is the CGI movie that came out last year, not to be confused with the films from the 90s. So there is quite a few subplots in this film, but the main plot being this crazy celebrity makeover lady sees the Addams in the town that they all live in as an eyesore. So she's kind of hell-bent in getting rid of them so she can have this perfect town, and pretty much tries to turn the whole town against the Addams family. Bit like what happened to Gomez and Morticia when they got married 13 years prior.
So yeah, I really enjoyed the beginning part of this movie, The Addams Family. I just liked how to see how they, they got married and how they just kind of like, they found their dream home, which is like absolutely gothic and amazing. And yeah, I really liked seeing that little bit of a backstory about them.
Yeah, and
it.
how they stumbled across Lurch as well.
Yeah, that was really funny. I really liked that part. Yeah, that was good.
So there's quite a lot of stars providing the voices for the Addams. So we've got Oscar Isaac, Charlize Theron, Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg was in there. We had Chloe Grace as Wednesday Addams and Finn Wolfhard. I was quite surprised at the end. I was like, who was Finn Wolfhard? Which one? Who was he? So yeah, it was quite...
Yeah, and a nice appearance from Bette Midler as well. So yeah, really star-studded voice acting here.
Yeah, a bit of a mixture. Animation was pretty good, very colourful, very bright. They do look slightly odd.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I thought the animation was pretty good for this film, but the character designs were a bit weird. You for Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday looked like her head was like blown up into a balloon, but the rest of her body was really thin. I don't know if that made her look more weird how they're supposed to be anyway. Morticia looked great. She looked
absolutely.
She looked perfect as I would have expected her to look. Gomez was a bit...
Gomez for me just didn't sit well at all. He looked more like the creepy guy from the Looney Tunes cartoons all the years ago. Yes, master, more than the suave, sophisticated Gomez that I know of.
It was a lot fatter and he was a lot shorter. I don't know, it didn't bother me too much. I think it bothered you more.
Yeah, it did. Yeah.
But yeah, they did look odd, but like I said, I don't know if that made them more creepy.
Yeah. I can see what they were trying to go for, but it just didn't quite sit well with me.
Yeah.
So there was quite a few subplots in this movie, which so it was kind of not like a general movie as a whole. There was just kind of like different stories that you just keep going back and forth into. So we had Wednesday sort of exploring her own individuality, really. She wants to basically go to this high school and sort of becomes friends with this other sort of kind of like an outcast in that sense, in sort of school terminology. And also we also have Pugsley, or as Gomez kept saying, Moxley, Poxley. I've never heard him say Pugsley at all.
You halfway through the movie was like, I didn't know they changed Pugsley's name. I thought he was called Pugsley, and I'm like, he is called Pugsley. He's saying Pugsley, it just doesn't sound like he's saying Pugsley.
So yeah, he has to do this sword fighting sort of display as like this weird Addams tradition, just for reasons, and he's just not getting it, and sort of struggling with that. Yeah,
there was no like I found it odd that there was all these mini stories going off. Like there wasn't just one. It didn't have any ground. It was just bits here, there, and everywhere. Yeah, it was very odd.
It kind of reminded me of Despicable Me 3. That was a bit like that, where you had like lots of mini stories going off in there into one big movie.
Yeah.
But sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'll let you decide.
So there was a lot of comedy in here. I found some of it quite good. I laughed quite a few times, and I'm quite hard to please in the comedy section. You struggled.
Yeah, it didn't really land for me. The visual gags, I'm sure kids will love and enjoy, but the comedic lines for this film just fell flat. It just didn't work. What I found really odd, there was just for example, Pugsley, when there was in the town, just drank water out of a dog bowl. Now that would have been funny if that's what he did at home and he just kind of just transferred it to there. Here, in this sort of scene alone, it just felt like the Addams family were just stupid, like they were just doing quirky things for the sake of it, and it just didn't land for me.
Yeah, so overall, I was entertained by this movie. Quite a few funny gags in there for me. I think it's probably more aimed at the younger generation than the older people, older adults. But yeah, I'm going to give it a 5.5 out of 10.
Yeah, it didn't sit well for me, this movie, I'm afraid. I'm going to have to give it a 4 out of 10. Again, it's a family film, and I'm sure kids will enjoy it, but it just didn't quite sit well with me. The one saving grace, though, was that the story behind all of never judge a book by its cover and expressing your individuality. I always feel that these stories should always be retold, especially now in this day of age of suppression and prejudice. So I'm glad that this was part of the message in this movie.
Yeah, but what did you guys think? Have you watched the new Addams Family movie? Please put a comment below because we'd love to hear from you. And as always, please like, share and subscribe, and please stay safe.
Yes, follow us at Gladsley on Twitter, and we'll see you again soon for more movie reviews. Until then,
Bye.